Do you remember the first time you made like a really big group of people laugh and you were just like, wow, like I thought like you felt like you made it at that point?
My earliest memories of getting like a reaction from somebody is I
Mhm.
used to do, and this is the first thing that comes to mind, but I used to do the Pee Wee, the dance in Pee Wee's Big Adventure where he's a tequila, the tequila dance. I
Yeah.
would do that in front of my grandparents and my family at, I could have been 3 or 4 years old, somewhere around there.
Mm.
And they would just die. Like they would die laughing. And that's kind of my earliest memory of like, oh, being goofy makes people do this. And I like that. I like that feeling. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Was there ever a time in your life where you didn't feel like being goofy was enough? Like, it felt like you needed to go through other avenues of comedy, or do you feel like being goofy was always, like, your special way of making people laugh?
I think that's a good deep question. Jeez. Um,
Weren't
no,
prepared for
I
this.
think I think as actors and entertainers and artists, every day we're constantly questioning like, you know, what we're doing. Like what, should we be trying something else? Should we be taking our talents and using them in a different avenue? So, I think we're constantly dealing with doubts and, things like that. But I always know it's funny when I'm in like an acting class or something, and I'm always like, nah, I don't know if I want to do a dramatic scene this month. Let's just do like a comedy scene because like I know that like that's where my comfort zone is and I'll get a reaction out of people. So I think I always know that like my comfort zone is comedy type stuff. Now, I'm not sitting here saying like I'm a comedy god, but like I know that like that's where I'm comfortable. And that's always where like I think my that's where I think I'll always like kind of fall back on or always go back to. Robin Williams was like is still my biggest inspiration, and I want to really have a career like that, where like you start
Mhm.
off in comedy, making people feel something, but he was so good at comedy that he was able to make people just break down into tears with his dramatic roles, and like, I think that the best comedians can do that. Um, so that's really
Robin
like,
Robin had such a warm performance with his dramatic roles that
mm-hmm,
I don't think anybody could watch that and be like, "Man, this guy sucks," or "This guy,
mm,
like, I don't feel anything." Like, he had
yeah.
such a way with connecting with people that I don't think has been matched since he left.
There's some, Tom Hanks is a little similar. I don't think he's on the
Mhm.
same level, but like to me, he got his start in comedy, and like he can do just the best, dramatic performances. But nobody will, I think, ever touch what Robin was able to do. I was actually fortunately able to meet him
No
like a
way.
couple of a couple of months, before he passed. He was so crazy. So at the theater, the comedy theater I was a part of in Los Angeles, he just showed up one night and like did an improv show. Like so at the theater that I was at, there was 3 stages. I was in the backstage theater and I was just leaving my show and my buddy texts me and he's like, dude, Robin Williams just walked in and he's now doing the main stage show. And I just walked around. There was maybe 15 people watching this show, and I was sat in the front row, watched Robin Williams do an improv show. I have video of it. I need to post it. Like I posted it back then when he did it, and then his people they asked me to take it down, and I don't know. I've always gone back and forth if I should post it now or not, but it's such an amazing improv performance. I don't see the big deal. Tangent. Sorry. Um, but it was such an amazing performance. And he was performing with complete strangers. And then when the show was done, I looked at my buddy sitting next to me. I was like, we got to meet him. Like, so we ran around to, and normally like with celebrities, like I've been fortunate enough to meet some really cool people, but like I don't get starstruck. I don't go crazy. I don't do that. But I ran around and I like was the first person he walked out and was like in face to face with. And I had to meet him. Like I had to tell him how much he meant to me. And like I was like, all I said was like, it's such an honor to meet you. Like, Fisher King is my favorite film, and I got a picture with him. It's a goddamn blurry picture, but my buddy will never let him live that one down. But no, I still got a picture with him, and like I kind of collapsed, man. I was like, I met my hero, and it was actually a good interaction. You know, that's always like a really tricky thing when people, you know, when you meet your heroes, because it's always like you never know like what you're gonna get. You know, you could easily get let down. But it was such a cool moment. And yeah, weird,
Dude,
crazy night.
that's incredible. That's honestly like one thing I feel like I failed in life was being able to meet Robin because his performances just meant so much to me when I was a kid, and it just
Mm-hmm.
felt like a crime that I never like tried to meet him. I don't know how I could have, but I was just like, man, I should have thought of a way or something, like
Yeah,
go
I
to a
feel
show
you,
or
man.
something. But
Yeah, I mean, it was one of my bucket lists to work with him. You know, I'm so glad I got to meet him. But like, what even is crazier is so that video that I posted, when I posted it, it started getting lots of hits really quick. And then the owner of the theater messaged me, and she said, Shane, I'm so grateful that you posted this video, but his people have requested that, you know, you take it down. And I was like, of course, no worries. And she said, thank you for being understanding. As soon as we know he's coming back to the theater, we'll make sure that you get on stage and get to perform with him. And that didn't end up happening, unfortunately.
oh man,
But yeah, he's the goat, man. He's the greatest.